Hey everybody, it is April 18th and I'm out here doing some morel mushroom hunting. So I've been walking for a few minutes now and I found my first morel, so I figured I would show it off to you guys. Okay, so I'm in a floodplain. As you can see, the whole area has been flooded. Probably just 2 or 3 days ago we got a lot of rain, so it's probably been flooded up to here on that day. So we're in the floodplain. We're next to some hardwoods. I think that's a walnut, but without the leaves on the tree, I'm not very good at identifying just the bark. But anyway, here is my first morel, right here. So, as you can see, a decent sized one. Looks like some insects or something have already gotten a hold of it, but that'll be fine. It's still good to eat. So I didn't bring a knife with me because this was kind of a impromptu trip here. So I'm just going to pinch it off at the base and twist to rip it off. Now, I don't know. I mean, that's the way I've always done it if I don't have a knife with me. I know everybody has their own methods and ways of doing this, but it works for me. So there it is, my first morel of the season. So typically, when you find one, you'll find others nearby. And if I'm not mistaken, I seen another one just down the way a second ago. But what I'm going to do is put it in a mesh bag like this. This is just a little mesh laundry bag. I don't know what exactly it's for. I think it's for putting bras in or a hat or something. But anyway, get you a small laundry bag. And there's a couple of good reasons for this. One is the mushrooms reproduce by spores. So the spores are microscopic and they take a long time to hit the ground, so they can be transferred quite a good distance whenever they do drop. So if you think about it as like they're dropping their seeds, so as you're walking, if you got in like a grocery store bag, then they can't get out and get back onto the ground to start more colonies of morels. So with the holes in the bag, those spores can get out. So everywhere that you walk while you're hunting, you're going to be dropping spores. So in 6, 7, 8 years, whenever those are finally mature enough to start fruiting, you'll have more morels than what you normally would have had because you're spreading the spores around. So the second good reason is the mesh on the bags lets dirt and bugs and water and all the stuff that you don't want in your bag with your morels to kind of fall out as you're walking. So it keeps them clean and lets you kind of reseed the area. So let's go ahead and see if we can't find a few more. Okay, so I'm still in the same place I was, just the other side of the same tree. So I found the first morel right there, and the next one is right down there. And like I said before, you'll find them in groups typically, so you want to be real careful and watch where you're walking after you found your first one. And let's see, this one's perfect. It's all covered in dirt and everything, so this is the prime example of why you should carry a mesh bag with you. So there's another good sized morel. Alright, let's see how many more we can find today. Okay, again, still in the same place, just spotted another one. Let's see if we can go get it. So there's another one right over here, a little bit smaller, but still a good size. Here we go. Now another thing, so you may have noticed this bag's kind of small, and this is the size of bag that I recommend. It's about, I don't know, I guess 8 or 9 inches wide and maybe almost a foot tall. And the reason for that is that way the ones on the bottom don't get crushed by the ones on the top, because if you get this thing full, it's going to be fairly heavy and you'll start crushing the ones on the bottom. So with a bigger bag than this, you're probably going to get some crushing on the bottom ones. But so there you go. Okay, got another one right here. So here's another thing I can probably point out to you guys. So you see how this one has the hole in the top? So essentially that means that they've grown about all that they're going to grow. So once that hole forms in the top, they're fully mature. So they probably won't grow anymore. So you can be, fairly confident that you can go ahead and pick that one if it's already got that hole. Now, something could have eaten that, I guess. But usually when they're fully mature, they do start forming they start splitting at the top like that. So that's another thing you can kind of look out for.